back to Landscaping to the Point, where we're live. JC's got a Coke from I don't know where, but he loves doing Coke. So it's a good stuff that keeps you alive, right? Okay, I got a question on that. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I don't know where you're watching, what you're listening to, or what, but so you're drinking Coke, okay?
Always.
And Coke, way back in the 70s, used to have cocaine in it and all that stuff. But
Fact.
how is it good for your body when you drink it when it can like eat the rust off of an old piece of like metal?
Listen, I know it's not good for me, but it tastes good.
Okay. But people say that it's totally fine.
Every
Even though it
smoke,
eats rust.
every smoker knows that cigarettes are bad for them.
Right.
And they like it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a rebel, Dottie.
Yes, you are. Oh, welcome everybody. So we are here. We're gonna get straight to the point today. It's been a couple weeks. How you guys been doing? Josh has been making a pergola. He's been doing all kinds of stuff. You guys got to see his pergola. He's building it in his basement in miniature scale, and then supposedly when he takes it upstairs, it turns into this big, huge scale. Yeah, I can't wait to see it when it's all finished up. So, how is that going? First off, is it going the way you thought it would go?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm building it out of like leftover timbers, so it's heavy to put up there, 10-foot timbers. So, Home Depot doesn't have all the hardware I need, so I have to go this week. I have it all together now. I just have to do my my curtains. I have an above ground pool, and just for some added privacy, I built it. And I got basically some regular like 10-foot long curtains. So it's a 20 by 20 pergola for a 15-foot pool, and then we'll break the pool down in the fall, and then turn it into like a fire pit area, hangout area, during autumn. But yeah, I mean it's going. I'm not a fucking carpenter or nothing, but I got everything stuck together, so it's not gonna fall. I gave it the good old nice shake, and there wasn't a lot of shaking, so I did pretty good.
Well, yeah. If it's not moving, I guess you're all right. But it's right near your pool, so if it goes down, your pool goes down. I mean, what is that? A couple $100 that you got to replace, but I mean, it's all right.
Well, this one wasn't a couple. This one was expensive.
What kind of curtains? Do you have to get like special waterproof ones?
Probably should have. No, I went on the cheap. I just bought regular fucking curtains that you wash them every once in a while.
Did you get blackouts at least?
No, I got because I'm painting the wood probably like an off white. So I got like a beige. I might change that. I do have I have tarp shades for the top. I have to hook up, but no, the one thing I wish I did different was maybe spend a few more bucks and got weighted curtains, because they do drift off pretty far when the light wind, so that's kind of a pain in the ass. Waterproofing, nah. I mean, they're gonna get wet. They're gonna get wet in the rain or whatever. So wash them a few times a year. But
yeah, that's not bad, really. Actually, I mean, really, you could probably power wash them probably right outside.
Yeah. It don't bother me. They're outside. What's the worst? They get a little fucking stinky.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
At the end of the day, it's nice to have. I haven't used it after work yet, but especially this week's supposed to be in the 90s. Today was in the 90s. Come home and jump in the pool real quick to cool off. It's nice.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that privacy too. I mean,
You should get a slip and slide.
We should get a slide into the pool.
I can't wait. I live on a corner lot, so I don't have a lot of privacy, but I'm still working on the fence. So once I get the fence up in the arborvitaes, I'll have a lot more privacy. I got to do a video of like what it looks like now. I mean, I wish I did one when I bought the house 2 years ago, and like a detailed update. Like I've done a little bit outside, and I'm still working inside. This winter will be a big inside renovation, but it's an old house, so old construction. It's fucking pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, I mean that's normal though. I mean it's. I feel like you got a place that you love, that you want to be in, and it's going to take time to build and fix it the way you want it to be, or even fix it back to where it was. So, I mean it's fine. I mean, that's how it all works out. I mean, we all buy things that we want to fix and put back together. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. So, Okay, so JC's got a question for everybody that's watching. If you guys are listening, he's got a very good question. He's lost here on this one. He asked us, we kind of gave him our thoughts on it, but we want to know what your guys' thoughts are before we get totally into this topic today. So JC, go ahead, tell the people the story, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and this is legitimate, man. I'm really like very confused. So I went to a store today and I realized that I needed laundry detergent. I ran out. And it was a choice between Tide and Gain. I should have gone with Tide because that's what I've normally bought. But for some reason I chose Gain. I've never used Gain before, but it was $5 cheaper. So I get home and I still don't know for sure if I bought laundry detergent or fabric softener because the bottle says nothing on it. It just says Gain. And it says like original scent, right? And lasting freshness and it's odor fighting. But am I currently holding fabric softener or am I holding laundry detergent? I need to know because if this is fabric softener, this is way more than I ever need. So somebody in the comment or chat, let me know if you use Gain. Is it laundry detergent or is it fabric softener or is it both? I don't know. This is really tearing me apart.
I think it's just laundry detergent. You
I
just
hope
got
it's
laundry detergent.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a good deal on some laundry detergent, but kind of like what Josh said. I mean, we use Tide. I mean, we don't mess around with that stuff. And I mean, we got Tide with fabric softener, and then we use those little beads, those bounce beads in there to give your clothes a little nice, more smelling to it. So
why can't they just write laundry detergent on the stupid thing?
See, how I feel is like you use Tide and then you use Snuggles, the laundry sheets, the softness sheets.
yeah,
That's what I consider softener. Is you put the little sheets in there with the teddy bear on them.
yeah. See, I don't know why you needed a separate softener.
He's trying to be all bougie and shit, like acting like
No, man, I was trying to save $5, and then
you're trying to go bougie. You know you are.
if I was going bougie, I'd go with Tide.
Tide's not that much more. What was it, $1 more?
No, it was $5 more. That's an iced coffee around here.
It probably is half an iced coffee.
You know, my luck, I'll spill the iced coffee on my shirt, and then I'll end up cleaning it with fabric softener.
God, I should have bought the fucking Tide.
God damn it!
It'll make you want to go back and buy the Tide. Then.
Yeah.
Should have bought the Tide and bought Cumberland Farms coffee for a week straight. You would have been all
Listen,
set.
if any like executives from Gain, for some reason, watching our podcast, talk to your marketing people and indicate what the product is, please.
Yeah.
Thank
No
you.
refund. No refund.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
it's probably both. You probably just got the one that just someone messed up and when they put on the label. That's what it is. They didn't read. They couldn't read that morning when they had to type in laundry detergent or fabric softener.
Wait, do you guys use the dryer sheets for fabric softener, or do you guys use the liquid one?
I use liquid, and then I also use the bounce sheets too. So I use like a bounce sheets. I use bounce beads for like their scent boosters, and then we use the dryer sheets.
Damn.
Yeah, we're bougie over here. I have to go to Costco and buy like all this stuff. It costs me like $100 just to do laundry for a month.
Josh throws a bar of Ivory soap in the washing machine.
That's probably what I would have done if I didn't get married. To be honest with you, I'm not a laundry person. Dude, before I met my wife, I brought it to the corner laundromat and paid for him to wash it and fold it for me.
I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't.
They fold your tidy whities?
They did actually.
Yeah.
Get marks and all.
Wow, there you go. There you go, guys.
No, it's right. Like back then, that was like what, like 2004. You went in and it was like $20, and it was like per pound or something. But I didn't have a shit ton of laundry. Like 3-4 pairs of pants and a bunch of shirts and boxes. $20. You go in. I had it right. I worked at this garage, and around the corner was the place. Drop it off in the morning. Go back, $25, $5 tip. Boom, laundry's done for the week. And
Dude,
do
you think they like toss your dirty laundry in with other people's dirty laundry?
I was more right. They'd be like,
like, have you like tried to put on a pair of underwear and you're like, wait a minute, these aren't mine.
put on a purple thong.
Yeah.
No, like at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Like, listen, I'm simple. I'm not a big. If I was single, I wouldn't cook. I'd probably eat out like chicken breast meals and rice every day, and or have someone cook for me or meal prep for me and do my laundry. That's just how I am. I wouldn't have dishes, paper plates, and paper forks, plastic forks.
Plastic forks. Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Dude, I'm single and I wish I did some of that shit.
It's easier. Like fucking toss it. See you later.
You know what I did like months ago? I realized I had too many dishes. I'm just like, I had to remind myself that I live by myself. I'm like, why do I need all these? So like,
right.
I took out like a couple sets of certain things that I use on a frequent basis. It makes me wash dishes more, but I wash less.
Right.
You know? So
yeah.
It took me a long time to figure that out.
That's the best way to do it though, you know, especially if you're single, like just have like 4 of each thing, you know, and that way you're, you know, and by the time a day's done, you're washing the dishes and that's it. You don't have to worry about too much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I come across these dilemmas, whether or not I came home with fabric softener or laundry detergent, or maybe I can use it to wash my dishes. Who knows?
Oh, okay. So let's get into this topic today.
Yeah.
So we got this great topic today. It's a very long topic. If you guys ever read it, it's the pros and cons of owning a business. And since we're all in the green industry, I would just say it's the pros and cons of running a green industry business. So Josh loves this one because he always loves to talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Josh loves this one because he always likes to bitch about things.
He'll have tons of cons. Believe me, dude. He'll have tons of cons on this one. I can tell this. So we're just gonna go to the pros right off the bat. What's the
Nancy over here?
Yeah. In order to get Josh's input, you have to name off 10 pros.
Yeah.
And then you can start bitching about the cons.
Yes.
I'll find a way to turn the pros and the cons. Don't worry.
Yeah, he'll figure out some way.
I'm counting.
Okay, so there's tons of pros, there's tons of cons. So my first pro, I'm going to say right now, is being able to work your own hours, decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. That would be my first pro altogether. So I want to hear what your guys' first pros are, or if you got other pros, definitely throw them in there.
I'm going to get all like mushy with this one.
So you cry when you're out there mowing?
No, not mushy. I said mushy. No. A sense of accomplishment. You know, you're able to do something that you wanted to do, or maybe get out of a situation like a full-time job that you hated to be able to do something that you are passionate about. So yeah, that's one of the pros.
Definitely. That's a good pro. Josh, what do you got? You got a pro?
I'm still thinking.
He's still thinking. He's got so many cons coming in.
No, for me, income, man. You know, kind of. Some people will, I think, disagree with it, but like you have more control of your income, right? So you know, you work a 9 to 5 or a salary position, you know what you're making. You know, I get to the point in the W-2 land that I was salary, so there really wasn't room to make extra money. There was no OT, there was no tips or nothing like that. You know, self-employed in this industry, I feel like there's not really a ceiling. You know, you can kind of, you know, if you want to, you know, be simple and make, you know, 40 to 60 grand and, you know, live comfortably like that. Great. You know, you want to make $100,000-$200,000, you can build, scale, find ways to, you know, make the extra cash. It's there. That's kind of what I like. You know, the schedule thing, we say that, but it is nice. You know, you can take off for the kids' recital or something with the parents or something. But I mean, we put a lot of hours and effort. See, there goes a con, right?
Yeah. See, you just turned my pro into a con.
I told you I would turn the pros into a con. So I'm going to shut the fuck up and just say, you know, I'd say, you know, no limit to finances. You know, income. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
a limit, but you can kind of, if you're working a job where, you're making 30 grand, there is the potential for a solo guy to make 100 grand a year,
Right. Right. I agree with that. I mean, it's whatever you want to make. And like you said, if you're working a job that, some of these jobs anymore, part-time's like, they're not going to work you more than 20 hours anywhere, and if 40 hours is getting kind of close to where a lot of places don't want to work you 40 hours. So, yes, we do work a lot of hours, which is a con, like Josh said, but we kind of make what we want to make. And, by knowing your numbers, you get to that point to where you can make that money that you want to make to be way ahead of what you want. We're making that full-time job. So I think that's a good plus. Another one of my pros is to not have somebody over my head telling me what to do, really, to be able to take control of what I'm doing in that day. And, I worked 9 to 5. I worked for a lawn company beforehand, and even when I first started, I worked for a lawn company, and it was just the thought of the owner coming at me or the manager coming at me like, "Hey, you fucked this up today, or you messed this up today." The whole ability of being able to go out and do it the way I want to do it and make sure it's done the right way and do it how I want to do it was a lot better for me.
Huh.
Yeah. JC, you got another pro?
Yeah. Pros of owning a business. You could definitely, I mean, I don't know. It comes with the green industry, right? Being outside, exercise, right?
Yeah.
Like just being active. I mean, yeah, I guess you could be employed for a landscape company in essence, do the same exact thing. But I think when you own a business, you get a lot better. If you want to be out there working, pick up a shovel, do something, you could do that. If you want to be behind the office and, dispatch and direct things and take care of the communication with clients and stuff, you could do that. I guess the short answer is having choice in what you want to do, and whatever lead and whatever role you want to take on. So I think that's one of the benefits of owning a business.
Yeah, definitely. Josh, we'll get your last pro before we jump into your cons, because I know you got like 17,000 cons on this.
No, I mean, Jensen kind of stole my thunder on that one, but being outside was a big one in the beginning. Like, no, honestly, like, I worked automotive and management for a long time, so I was in damp, dark garages and, not like dealership settings, but like old school mom and pop garages. So it was nice when I transitioned into this to be outside at the end of the day. This is the first year that I'm not bitching and moaning about the heat, and I'm loving it and I'm embracing it a little bit more. So I don't think I would want to trade that off to be inside a building at a desk job again. I do enjoy being able to be outside. I'm very mobile. Like again, I go from my house, I go 40, 50 miles east and then another 20 miles north. So I'm all over the place. So I see a lot of stuff throughout the day in different areas of my state, which is pretty cool rather than be locked into, one section of the city or a town,
Right. I agree with you. I think that is a good thing, is the exercise that we get and to be outside. I mean, I worked a warehouse for a year and a factory for a year. And I'll tell you what, to be in a building and locked in, it gets to you sometimes. And, I'd rather be outside as much as I can and enjoy that sun and, be able to exercise by doing, landscaping or even doing something outside. I don't care. Like, I'd rather be outside instead of be stuck in a building. So
I'm gonna rebuke you guys. Keep on saying the exercise because you hardly see in shape landscapers. They're either fucking
I know.
fat out of shape or fucking just worn down, like beat to shit, like mentally disturbed and physically just beaten up.
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah, I mean that's true, but they're strong as hell, man.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you get like it's like the old man strength. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's one of those things where like, yeah, you could pick up a box or two cinder blocks, not trying, but yeah, I don't know. I think if we did some vitals on, go to GIE and do vitals at the door, you're gonna see a lot of like pre-diabetic and hypertension fucking patients.
It's
walking
because
out the door.
it's because we're so stressed out. We drink tons of energy drinks or tons of pop to kind of keep ourselves caffeinated, to keep awake, to keep going. You know,
See,
like
and that's horrible. And I know that's just not in this industry, but like, dude, we again, here we go with the cons, right? We push, and even myself, I'm guilty of it now, dude. I gained a ton of weight over the past 5 years, 6 years, and it's like, you know, you're snow plowing all night. You grab whenever you can, whether it's gas station pizza and soda and just scarfing down whatever, and not remember when you ate last, not drinking water, but drinking, you know, how many coffees you guys go through when you're out on a fucking route, you know what I mean?
right.
Or monsters or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it adds up. I mean, like you said, just the gas station thing. I hate to say it, but yeah, over the last couple of years, I realized like I probably spent more at a gas station than I did anywhere else between drinks and food than just going to buying stuff on my own. So, uh,
Yeah, he was so negative that his connection was like, "Yeah, see you later."
yeah, he just jumped off. Why did you
You just
jump
jumped
off?
off. Why'd you leave?
You didn't want to talk about it no more. Oh,
Now we
there he
can't
goes.
hear him.
There he goes. He's messing up as usual.
So hey, I do have another pro.
All right, let's hear your other pro. Why?
Pro of owning a business. You get to choose what equipment you want to buy. Like for example, like if you like Gravely, you know, you could choose that to have Gravely as your lineup. If you like Walker, if you like Wright, if you like Bobcat, if you like, you know, Exmark, you get to choose which line of equipment you want. And if you've worked for another company, maybe you've been an employee but hate their equipment, you know, you get to make that choice.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a positive, especially being the business owner, is that you can, like you said, get to choose what you want to use. I always like to use the feedback too of my employees to see if there's, even though we're using certain brands and, we've stuck with brands for, well, I mean, Echo, we've been with Echo for ever since we started business 29 years. So I feel like, yeah, it's nice to get the input of the employees to see if that's still something that we want to continue with, or if they feel like something else has changed or not, because it does make a big factor when you come down to it, because, you get to decide that. So going to Equip and saying, hey, I get to check this out and see if it's worth it for me, or, check between different companies that are around you to say, hey, what do you got around me that we can use?
Yeah, that's a good take, because I mean, if you it also depends on what your role is too, right? Like if you choose to like not be on a mower, you got to understand your guys are going to be the ones on a mower, and you want to make it as convenient as you can for them and what they're comfortable with. So maybe you like Gravely, but your guys like Exmark, and you're not going to be on that machine. Maybe it's in your best interest to buy something that they're going to be using. He's making Jiffy Pop now on the
every time. Every time. What did you do, Josh? Every time we get on a thing, we can never have a good time.
What are the pros and cons of having a bad internet connection?
Everything sucks. Oh, Josh, what am I gonna do with you? So Josh just pays for the cheap internet service, guys. Just get used to it. He likes to save $1, and that's what's happening, is his buck's not going the right way. So
I just don't think he paid the bill.
He probably didn't. It's probably like he comes on, and because we always get 1 week out of a month that he's good. And I got a feeling that's it. Like that must be the month that he's paid up, and then it's like, oh no, it's back to nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so let's talk about the cons.
All right, so there's a lot of cons. Okay, as being a business owner, especially us in the green industry, I think one of the biggest cons for me is dealing with breakdowns. Like you got to deal with a breakdown no matter what you look at it. There's always a breakdown at least once or a month at least, where you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. And I think that's one of the biggest ones for me as a con wise, because you can be out trying to do other things or trying to sell, and then you have to go figure out what's wrong with it or send the guys to another job or whatever. Or if it's a piece of equipment you're using, you have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to continue to make production to make this day, to make the week, or whatever it is going to be to finish the job. That's one of the biggest cons for me, I would say.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a con where it's not something, because a lot of cons that guys have are situations that they could prevent if they manage things correctly, right? But like on a business end thing, right? You a lot of the cons are things you don't really have control of.
Right.
You know, you could say I have a con in certain things, you know, I don't have enough customers, but maybe you're doing something wrong when you're trying to put your business out there and try to gain customers. But cons could be if you have a crew, you know, trying to find employees to fill those jobs. Obviously, if you don't have enough personnel working for you and you have more of a workload, you might have to take charge and step up to the plate and work double time to just kind of keep up with your clients. That could definitely be a con. And obviously in today's age, trying to find, you know, good employees, reliable employees that are going to stay with you for a long time. You know, that could be a potential problem for any business, really. You know, so there are definitely cons when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'd say employees is another one. Like you said, employees are harder to get now than way back when. You could always find somebody that would want to cut grass, would want to dig a hole. Now it's kind of at that point where they'd rather be on a computer or, you know, in a somewhere where it's nice and AC than to be outside. I think Josh can contest to this when he actually can, you know, get internet. So, you know, but we're just going to get you one of those talkers so you can just, you know, type and talk. Maybe that's what you should do, is just type and talk, Josh. You know. Yeah.
I don't think I have the ability to talk right now. I don't know.
It was a little bit okay.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I really don't. Can you hear me?
A little bit, yeah. I don't know.
Dabba do. How about now?
Yeah, I hear that.
So, Landscaping to the Point is brought to you in part by GoFundMe. We've set up an account for Josh and his internet service. So if you'd like to hear more about Josh's input on certain topics once a week, as we do here on Landscaping to the Point, feel free to click the future link below and donate your life savings.
Yes, please. We need to get better internet service where Josh is. He is not in the country; he's in the city, but they don't have better internet. So we need to boost his internet. So, you know, if you could donate as much as you can.
I sound like a smoker. It has one of those. Hello, how you doing?
It's got to be your phone. Your phone service sucks.
For only $5 a day, you could help someone in need of internet service. And if you donate today, you'll get this adorable blanket
with Josh's face right on the front of it.
Face on it.
Oh, yeah. There's.
Hear me now.
No, that was worse.
That was worse. You should go back up in the attic. We never had no problem when you were in the attic.
Now we can't hear you at all.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He forgot his throat talker.
All right, continuing on with the show. Show must go on.
Show must go on. So there's tons of cons when we run a business. I know there's a lot of guys on that are watching that are been in the business too. I would say one of the cons, which Josh kind of jumped on before, was long hours. We always work lots of long hours. So, you know, it's not like a regular 9-to-5 job. So if you're looking for a 9-to-5 job, you know, sometimes it's better to be at that 9-to-5 job. Would you say, JC? or would it be sometimes easier to run a business yourself? Because from experience, like doing both, is it hard to juggle as being, running a business and being a full-time job?
So I mean, it's kind of subjective because there are people that like consistency, and there are people that like, switching it up every now and then. But I'd like to add too that it is possible as a business owner to maintain consistency if you do things correctly.
Right.
There's pros and cons. Like, I mean, you may be working long hours, but maybe you're able to bang out more jobs in a day and then be able to catch up for the rest of the week on doing things that you need to do for time off and spend time with your family. Put in the work early to, and to have more time. My experience when it came to running a business part-time, it was a pro because I was able to decide which days I wanted to work, even with a full-time job. So I was typically doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but if I wanted to get an early head start, if I wanted to take Sunday off and do something on the weekend, I'd work on a Thursday night, and I'd be able to catch up. So having that flexibility for me was really good, and I think that could translate to owning a business, creating your own hours. That's part of it, and having that flexibility to be like, hey, listen, I know I'm scheduled tomorrow to do your lawn, but I have some opening today. Would it, it never hurts to call your customer and ask and see, especially if you have that relationship with them, if you could swing by. Sometimes they might like it, sometimes they may not want you there.
Right.
But I think having that ability is a pro when it comes to it. So I think the lawn care industry specifically is good for that type of mentality. If you want to have some flexibility with your schedule, yeah, you're going to be working long hours. Sometimes you have to catch up, especially when there's rain, weather, things like that, broken equipment. But the fact of the matter is you have that time during the week to do that.
Right. Right. All right. So we're going to add Josh one more time. Josh, are you in there now?
You guys are static now, so I don't think it's any better.
He went outside and he still got nothing. Josh, we love you, man. But definitely got to get you better internet. So one of the things I would think is, Josh would speak from experience if he could, is cash flow. I think us as running a lawn care business, there's a lot of cash flow coming in and out at all times. And when you're working a 9-to-5 job, always know what your cash flow is going to be from week to week sometimes. So especially if you're a salary employee, but the plus side of that is that you make that decision on what you want to make. And you can also change that up by adjusting your budget or whatever you need to do to get to where you want to be at too. So I think there's a plus and a con to that. Sometimes it can be more of a con because you might be putting more money out to fixing something or into a project, up front to make sure that you get that job done. But you can always adjust it, figure eight to get to the right position. JC's got
sorry about that. My dog knocked down his water bowl.
Of course, right.
Yeah, he just said screw it.
Yeah. Got Josh outside and the dog's knocking over your water bowl for you. So, but JC, what other cons do you think of that could be easier or be more problematic to us in the green industry? I know there's tons more. I wish Josh could get on, but he's having fun in the backyard, probably swimming by now. Probably.
I took the opportunity to change my name.
Josh needs internet. There you go. Maybe he's got something going on here.
Wow. I just picked up my dog and he's soaking wet. How the hell did he do that? Anyways, what was your question? I'm sorry. I got distracted with
Josh has tons of cons. Do you think his cons are because of his internet?
He has so much cons. He's Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan, yeah. Oh, Josh. Hey, there he goes. He's jumping back out. He can't make a decision in his life. No.
Yeah.
I
don't think he likes today's topic.
No, I don't think he likes today's topic.
Yeah.
I think one of the other cons of, especially us running a landscape business or in doing mulching and stuff, availability for getting the right equipment. You know, sometimes you can't get the right equipment. Sometimes you can't get the right materials when you want to do it, especially when you sold a job. That sometimes can be a con unless you know, I've come across it many a times to where I'll bid a job and I'll say I'm going to do it next week, and then something happens and you can't find that product that you need for that job, or they're all sold out. So it's always hard to figure it out and come upon changing that up. So would you agree, JC?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I think that kind of comes naturally with this line of work. You know, we're dependent on dealerships. We're dependent on supplies. We're dependent on, you know, like you said, the equipment. We're dependent on our equipment working. So, and it depends also too where in the country you're at. You might use other different types of tools than other places would, and you know, sometimes that could be a challenge to try to find a place. But I think another, to kind of change it up from another con, is this one might be a little funny, because once you open up a business and you have equipment, there's an expectation of you from other people, like family members and friends, that need favors. Oh, hey, I have this tree and I know you have the equipment. Do you think you maybe come by and take it down for me, or take a look at it for me? And people expect deals, you know, and it's kind of innocent at times too. I don't think sometimes even people realize that they're doing it, but they think all of a sudden that since you're in a landscape business, you can go out and do landscaping for their house for free or for a very cheap cost. So you're always going to get that, you know, hey, can I borrow your truck next weekend, or can you help me pick this up, or can you help me get some mulch? And, you know, you're doing things for people, or they expect you to do things for them, you know, and then are surprised when you tell them that you can't, or you tell them that, you know, it's going to cost you a certain price. And, I thought we were family. I thought we were friends. Like, you know,
right. Where's my friend's discount? Where's my friend's, you know, I get that. I get it. You know, I used to get that a lot too, till I actually started telling people like, no, man, you can't use my truck, or I can't come over there this weekend. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, you get that a lot, especially when you first start getting into business, because you want the business. So you're looking to get that money or get the word out. And then you get that one friend that's like, hey, I need these weeds pulled. I need this mulch done. Go ahead and do it, man. I'll give you $50. And you're like, dude, it cost me $150 for the mulch. He's got a problem with his screen too.
Yeah.
So
I think he's on a different podcast.
Yes,
he is
on a different
podcast.
podcast.
He's talking to like two other people.
Yes. He's talking to the one, How High Do You Get podcast that I was on about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, see, he's got nothing. So every time you switch to the computer, it's hooked up to your daughter's headphones, by the way. Okay, we're just gonna tell you that. But yeah, I feel like that's always an issue sometimes on that. Another con, but it also can be a plus, is the weather. The weather can play a big factor in our business and being in the green industry. It doesn't affect many people, but us, it could definitely affect us when, you know, we're expecting snow and we don't get snow for months, or we're expecting rain and we don't get rain, and we turn into a drought situation. It can change a lot of things in your business, especially for us in our green industry business.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I want to add, just to kind of throw in a little more explanation about Josh's situation. So they don't usually have good internet connection in prison. So he's actually He's actually that's why he has all these problems. So just for people that are like wondering why he always has
Yeah.
issues, is because sometimes the connection within concrete walls aren't that great.
Yep. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know. I think, there's a lot of cons and pluses to being an owner, but the most thing I can say is that you make it how you want it to be made, and you are only as successful as you can be. So Josh is sitting there laughing. So, but you make it the way you want to be, and you make it to where you want to be able to make profit, and it determines on how hard you want to put into it, how determined you want to put into it, what way you want to go with your business. And, there's always things that are going to happen. There's always going to be breakdowns. There's always going to be that stuff. You can't always predict everything in business. And, there is pluses and there's cons. And so that's what it is in business. And a lot of people think that it's easy, and it's not easy. I would say running a business is not easy.
No.
A lot of people think, hey, you run a business, you're making good money. You gotta be, especially when they get a bill, you get a big bill for doing a big landscape job, and they're like, wow, you're making good money on this. And you're like, no, I'm not. I have 5 guys out here. I have insurance. I have trucks. I have, all this equipment that I'm bringing out here, plus materials. And, it's not easy. It really isn't. But, you make it the way you want to make it, and you can be a solo, entrepreneur, or you can have a business that has tons of people and be successful as long as you want to be. So, but you can always get good internet sometimes, I always know that, even out here where I'm at in the cornfields, I still have really better internet.
Can you hear me now, motherfucker?
About time, like 40 minutes later, we're going to get back to you. So do you have any cons to add to this? I mean, we talked about everything.
Yeah, like
put money in
internet. I don't get what the fucking issue is here.
I don't know.
We put money in your commissary.
Yeah.
It's like always around the same time. I took my phone, just like you guys are talking, it starts crackling. That's usually when you see me like, oh crap.
You must have like a low bandwidth at a certain time of night. I tell you what.
I think it's operator error.
Self-operated error.
Now he's talking in rewind.
If you guys are not watching this, I mean, it's funny, guys, if you're listening to this, but it's like, if you ever watch those old Chinese movies and he talks and his mouth's going, but nothing's coming out for like 5 minutes, that's the way it is sometimes with him. But then you add in the crackling like a robot into it. And then that's
you remember the movie Home Alone when he had that little like recorder that he'd like talk to and he'd rewind it? That's what Josh sounds like right now.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and then he's got our talking in the background too. So, oh, Josh, you crack me up every time. I don't know what it is, but you crack me up every time we do this. Oh, it must be. See, you must have limited data on like Sundays and Mondays. Most of the rest of the week you're fine. I don't know what it is with Sundays and Mondays. Oh no, he's gonna try 14 other things here. All right, let's try your phone again. You want to try your phone again?
Oh, there's 2 Joshes now.
Oh yeah, this one's moving different speed.
This is the last thing the world needs.
We got AI on one side, and then not.
Oh my God! I never thought I'd see 2 Joshes.
Oh, it's his twin brother, Josh too. Oh my God,
Josh! There's Josh and Ghost.
Yeah, and there is Josh and Ghost. Yeah.
Did he die?
Now, if you could just get your voice to come on and how about you open up a third one? Can we get your voice on the third one?
Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2. Testing
yes,
1,
I hear
2.
you.
like actual human being, or like
I hear you normal.
Which one am I supposed to look at?
either one.
The one below.
Whichever one arouses you more. That's all. Focus. Eye
Oh.
contact. Awkward eye contact. That's all.
So, okay, let's try something. So if I take a you here, now can I hear you?
Can you?
Yeah.
I'm back on the phone, which was going.
Yeah. See?
Sound like, you know what it reminds me of when it starts? You remember back in the day, like you'd be listening to the radio or a CD on your car, and you knew when someone was about to call because the signal would come in on the car, and you would start getting it on your cell
Yeah.
phone. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, and all of a sudden it just goes crackling.
Maybe you got somebody like trying to jump in on your calls. Maybe that's what it is.
Dude,
Maybe you got a line tap or something.
Wow.
But it's weird because it's always around that 25-minute mark it starts.
Well, maybe that's when the tap comes in at 25 mark. Maybe. Oh, it's kind of weird.
I have no idea. I have to call Fios in the morning and say, fuck this shit. Oh, it's funny, right? So I have Spectrum. And when I was building the pergola last week, and some lady comes to the front of the house, and she's like, hi, sir, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, God, what the fuck is this shit? We have an election going on this year, so all the city, like, the potential city councils are going around trying to get your vote. And she goes, oh, I'm just, I'm with Spectrum. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And she's like, I want to know, what you think of the service. I go, it sucks. Sucks. I go, it fucking sucks. She goes, why? I'm like, because it fucking sucks. Like, it's horrible. I'm like, I can't be on a video call. I'm like, I lose reception through walls. I'm like, I get extenders throughout the house, and it still doesn't work. I was like, I'm calling Verizon. She's like, is there anything we can do? No. No, you suck.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You might have to do that, Josh.
So anyway, to elaborate on your cons, I believe you read my mind. Cash flow.
Yeah.
This is a cash flow. Sometimes it's tough if it's slow. Also, if you're in the field and you have, are you fucking kidding me? Did I just dig in? Are you fucking kidding me?
We hear you. We can hear you good, but your face just.
Can you imagine trying to handle cash flow and invoice with this fucking internet connection? Jesus Christ. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you. Oh, shit.
So, yeah,
I couldn't
cash
stop.
flow. And if you're in the field, obviously sometimes you fall behind on invoicing and billing, and you're not writing things down, you're not using a CRM, that comes in. Obviously, recruitment and retention has been in this industry. Recruitment seems I seem to think recruitment is fairly easy getting people. It's retention and training. I feel like a lot of people sit there and say there's a lot of shit labor, but I think they don't look in the mirror and say like, hey, how are you training your candidates or your newbies? You know what I mean? Are you training them to what you want, or are you just using them as just a helper rather than an employee? Because I think a lot of guys in this industry, we're just looking for a helper. We don't realize that. Well, I should say we're training people as helpers rather than employees to delegate work to. It's more like weed whack that, blow that off, follow me with a bow, rake up these clippings rather than saying, hey, watch me trim this bush, or watch me use this mower, or show you how to use a mower. So I think recruitment and retention are an issue. I mean, this is a tough industry for someone to make a living that's not an owner. I mean, you tend to cap out depending on, depending on where you go in the country. We're northeast, so I want to say that we're a little bit on the higher end of the salary. So I want to say maintenance anywhere from 25 to 30, and then a really good hardscape foreman could make up to 50. But typically, you'd probably be trying to push into salary and maybe option shares at that point. But for the maintenance guys, it's tough. You're supposed to fucking survive off $25 an hour up there. I mean, even in some of the cheap areas, rents are through the roof. $2,000 a month. Plus groceries and everything. So it's tough, especially when
there's this competition where like guys can be electricians and plumbers or carpenters or not. So it's I really felt like it was easy to hire back in the day. You've been doing this a lot longer than me. But I also think that there weren't as many options. We didn't have as many businesses and big pop-ups like Amazon, UPS, FedEx. They weren't as big as they are now, 15, 20 years ago. So I think people have a lot more options. But I will say, I said it in 2022. That whole boost of wages was going to come down at some point, and you're starting to see wage listings going down. Minimum wage jobs that we're pushing up. Like, what's minimum wage? Like $15 an hour or something now. That math. Jensen.
Right. Jensen.
Jensen did it.
Totally got all of that.
We got it all. It was kind of up and down, but we got it.
Stacking up again.
Yes, it is. And what, you've been only at like 9 minutes this time.
I'm buying you a card.
Yeah. Buying you a new SIM card. Sorry.
No, a regular greeting card, Hallmark card. Congratulations for making the live stream for 9 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I think that there's a lot there for being a business owner. And, like I said before, sometimes, like Josh said, there's a lot of things. There is a lot of ups and downs. And I think, running a business, sometimes you have every year is different. And it's one thing I've always said, every year is different running a business, especially us in the green industry. 1 year it could be totally rainy. 1 year it could be totally droughty. And you can never get it totally perfect. And I think that's one of the things I do love about running a business is that the challenges that we get from day to day sometimes, because sometimes that Monday might not work good. And then the next 3 weeks, the Monday is going to work perfectly. And you're just going to have total perfect, stuff instead of, chaos, and sometimes you get frustrated and you're like, what the hell am I going to do? But then a lot of times you're just like, oh, it's a Monday. So what? Let's move on. Let's figure out what we can do to finish the day up. Like a couple weeks ago, I had a blown tire on the side of the highway, and literally we got it changed out, got the truck up, got it, new two brand new tires on it. We took the other truck out. We got the day done, and actually being behind, we got ahead. So, that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to just push it forward and keep going. So
let me ask you this final thought, right?
Yep.
With the pros and cons that we discussed today, and someone was deciding on starting their own landscape business, would you tell them to go ahead forward with it, or would you tell them that the cons outweigh the pros?
I would say just be determined, be consistent, and just know that some days will not go right. Some days will go perfectly the way you want it, but some days won't go right. And you just got to embrace it and stick with it, because sometimes it's going to be rough. Even look at me. I've been in business 29 years, and I'll tell you what, out of this 29 years, yeah, I've had rough days. I've had rough years. You just take it year by year, day by day sometimes. And, I've come to, talking with Josh before, I've come, close to closing up my shop many a times. But you got to look at why you want to do it and what's your passion for doing it. And once you have that passion and the why and the determination, it's not going to stop you. You're going to, you be in that dump for a week. You might be in the dump for a day, but you'll look at it like, I still got to get out there. I still got to cut that grass. I still got to get out there. I got to make sure my customers are happy. I'm not going to be the one that's going to say, oh, I'm having a shitty week. I'm not going to be there to cut your grass. I'm sorry, I can't do it. No, I'm going to be there. I'm determined to make sure that they are happy and to make sure that I keep those customers for years. If I decide I want to close up shop because I'm too old and I want to be done and I want to retire, at least I made my prediction of making sure that all my customers were happy throughout my 30 years or whatever, how long it takes me to get to that point, you know, and knowing that if I need to go back into it, I can go back into it. And that's what you should do. Always be determined and push forward.
Yeah. Good way to put it, bro.
Yeah. Josh, you got anything to add on it before we let go? Cause I know you can't crackle. So no. Okay. Well, thank you guys all for listening and watching. JC, do we got anything new to add to our roster of awesome stuff to give away or awesome stuff that's coming up sponsor wise?
So I haven't done a full review yet, but we got the product made, or Awesome Candle Company got the product made, and I put a post up on Instagram, so check that one out. I don't believe that the packages are created yet, but you could there may be a choice in packaging of what options you want to buy. So it comes with a oil diffuser and 4 waxes or 3 waxes, I believe. So
Sweet.
But yeah, as soon as that comes up, I'll definitely keep you guys updated and posted. Check them out. Awesome Candle Company on Etsy.
Awesome Candle Company, guys. They are one of our sponsors. Thank you guys for being here. Thank our sponsors, Awesome Candle Company. And as soon as that stuff comes available, we will have a special for you guys to get them. And then also, if you're going to equip, I'm going to have some with me. So you come find me and get your sniff on and, tell me what you think, and we'll go from there. So, but also thanks to Cujo and to Pro Parts Direct for always hooking us up with some shoes that are always good and some parts that you never know when you're going to need some parts to fix that equipment. Josh loves going there. He loves visiting them and getting his parts direct from Pro Parts Direct. So thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you all soon. Also, definitely donate to help Josh and his internet, please. He needs all the internet help he can get. So, okay, please donate. Give all the gifts you can to us. We'll get them to Josh so he can